Okay, so the first thing is the minutes.
I move we accept.
I will second that.
All those in favor? Thank you. Finished talking, didn't write down my little notes about who's here, so. I have to do that. Not that I won't remember my official notation. So, we'll see if Wade joins. I don't know, but if it's not the right meeting thing. So we do have an estimate from Brandon Wright for insulation. And I had forwarded it to Wade and to Andrew. And I didn't hear anything from Wade. And I did hear from Andrew about this. So he said, the number on the design quote looks good. However, I do not want spray foam for the walls of the rooms. We have to have bat or rock wool because there will be two-phase where audio-visual power and data will be run through those walls. The spray foam would completely prevent us from getting back into the cavity to do all of that phase 2 work. The detail should have about a 1-inch air gap between the brick and the insulation, which we've talked about many times about that air gap to facilitate.
But I thought that spray foam was supposed to negate having to have that air gap.
So I guess those are the things that we've talked about it both ways.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard from Wade, so, and then between the air can pass through. If it is a huge cost savings, I'm willing to hear some reasoning and how to work around the spray foam if Infinity would chat about that. As architects, we know a good amount about a lot of technical things, but the tradespeople and the subcontractors will always have more expertise with their material and how it works in real time. I would say ideally we want bat or rock wool, but I'm happy to have a conversation with Brandon Wright. So I know that we've talked about this in 2 different ways. And you were there with him, so.
Yeah, part of what they talked about was doing the spray foam on the brick.
Mm-hmm.
And that sealed the air and sealed everything.
Yeah.
And then also that was thin enough that you still had the rest of the stud cavity to run wires and other stuff through
Oh,
later.
okay. All right.
Because the spray foam is only 2 inches thick.
Okay. All
Up
right.
against the brick, and you got 2x6 walls.
Oh, yeah.
So it still leaves you
They'll
quite a bit
still
of
have
space.
a room, 4 inches of room to put in a box and pull power.
Yeah, exactly. That was one of the things we talked about doing,
Okay.
so we didn't have to worry about.
Okay, so I can go back over that with Andrew.
But Nickerson O'Day supposedly had somebody that specializes in this envelope construction,
Yeah,
and he was supposed to give us feedback, but I don't know. Obviously, we never heard anything back from him.
no, and, I emailed Wade a couple times about when they were gonna pull the porta potty and when they were gonna pull the dumpster. I saw the dumpster looks like it's been dumped, but not taken.
Mhm.
So or they replaced it or whatever, but because that dumpster was full.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't look full. So,
Well, in that piece of equipment too, he
and
said.
yes, yeah. So I guess I'll call him and leave him a message and not email him, and hopefully, he'll get back to me and we can come up with a plan, because he also said he was gonna get us a final invoice. And I haven't seen that, so I don't know what we have for dollars, if we have
Well-
$20,000 for insulation, which I'd like to.
How much was it?
Brandon's estimate for the insulation, it's that last sheet right there,
Oh.
it's that last sheet.
19.5 basically.
Yeah.
Is that knowing,
1,500.
yes,
19,471.20. There's an estimate there if you want a copy. So,
is that a?
That sounded like a reasonable price to me.
Did it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
see, I have no idea.
Me either. So to me, I was like,
My space was
good,
this
and you
big.
graduated from Monmouth.
I know.
So, okay, I mean, if,
Yeah, I don't know, and he didn't, you know, I mean, I talked to him about it, I didn't come out and say, give us a discount. Because I try to, you know, not be that bold sometimes with contractors, but
What was his availability to, like, if we say yes?
I think that he'd probably be able to get it done before winter, I mean, I think he'd probably work
Get it
us
in.
in.
That would save us some money on heating.
Yes,
you know?
for sure. I mean, that's the other reason I'd like to, you know, be able to say, yeah, let's do this or something. So I can talk to Andrew about the fact that it's 2-inch and
We had any other quotes for that kind of work?
I think that Nickerson and O'Day had brought a guy down and
They
they,
had a guy, Quality Insulation,
yeah,
I think
Yeah.
was the name of the company. And he looked at it, but I never heard numbers that I ever heard. I don't know if they ever got back to Nick O'Day or not.
the last time, I think the last meeting, he said that we were going to, he was gonna reach back out to that guy to try to get estimate, so. I had, you know, asked today, Alyssa, who I received the invoices from, if she had a new invoice, and she didn't respond to me. So, cause I always, you know, check the day of the meeting to see if there's something that we need to approve, and I didn't hear anything, so either A, it's not ready, or B, she's on vacation, like half of the world right now, so.
According to this, we still got 64,000 left on the balance remaining, is that,
Yeah.
am I reading it right?
Yeah, before I put anything else in there, so I don't know what the last of Nick O'Day's amount will be. And that would be, you know,
So the only bill we have tonight is the
Yeah.
287.50.
exactly,
Mhm.
yeah,
And then Paul Design still has 12,2
yeah,
basically,
yeah,
so it'll be 12 once we pay the nights.
Yeah,
Basically, so
exactly.
that's not bad,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, and
Is that not, does the fund balance contain what you raised?
yes.
So that's part of it.
Yes, that all adds in anything that's up there, and that's not, that doesn't have the $10,000 from the AARP thing, and this is also, I'm at, I don't know where the hopefully came from, I don't ever remember that being there, I asked about that, I don't know how it got there, but essentially, we've got almost $100,000 that I've raised, it's just shy, I think it's 99, 98, 99 or something, and I didn't look today, because I got sidetracked and I didn't look. We still have some.
Justin's meeting with.
Andrew Scoggins supposed to be bringing a check for
bringing a
like,
check.
yeah,
Maybe it's just.
1,000, but something, at least 1,000, if not more, so. Are you gonna be at that meeting? I don't know, cause he mentioned.
He wanted me to
Yeah.
come, John wanted, just, and I think it's just a courtesy because we know each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah,
But I'll see him, but I've
Yeah.
got somebody I'm supposed to be at home at 1 o'clock, a contractor, so
yeah,
I'm not sure what their plans are. But I don't need to be there. If he's gonna,
Yeah.
guess I need to twist John's arm to pony up
exactly.
more money.
More money,
More.
yeah,
Yes, let us give you the bottom line, this is what we need.
Get a lot of zeros on that.
Yeah.
So I hope Nickers O'Day doesn't have a big invoice left because they haven't given us one for a few months, right?
no, we haven't, I have not had one. We had 26 and 27, which we approved at the June meeting via email. And those were the last two I have. And then he said both times, you know, I'm just working on a final invoice. 27 had the bell tower and the boom, I mean, the crane and all of that in there, because that was a pretty sizable one. 21,000, so that was that. But I'll reach out to Wade tomorrow. I've got several places I need to be, but I'll call him at some point and try to leave him a message and hopefully talk to him about stuff, so.
I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have it so that in the
We know where
event,
we are.
if in talking with Brandon,
Brandon.
you know, and Andrew, they talk and Andrew goes, oh, I understand, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. It'd be nice, like you say, to get this done
Yeah, it
before,
would be nice to
It
get
gets
the
cold.
insulation done, so,
and who knows, maybe. it's not gonna-
yeah.
Spray foam on those walls and doing that ceiling and it's gonna make heating
Oh,
a
God, yeah.
huge
Oh, yeah.
amount of difference.
Especially around the windows and everything. I mean, geez.
Exactly.
What are you gonna do, what are we gonna do with the ceiling? Just insulate above it?
What he quoted was what's called dense pack in those floor joists. They
Yeah.
put a net on the bottom of the floor joist and they blow this insulation that has a little bit of, it's like shredded fiberglass in the space and fill the whole void cavity.
Now, there is insulation on the ceiling already, isn't there? Old insulation?
In the main
In the
part of the
main
building.
section.
This is in the
The
addition part of the
1914
back.
is,
And that's pretty good stuff because it fills all the nooks and crannies when it blows in
Yeah.
yeah,
and it's really good.
that's what they did above my master bedroom. And blow that stuff in, insulate the walls and then use the blown in fiberglass. I thought that was-
So
Yeah,
it'd be great if we can keep that in the budget
exactly.
to
Mm.
get
Yeah.
that done,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
because that will make it a lot better for
Well,
In the long run, it would-
going forward.
Right, in the long run, it would save us.
You know, it's still, at some point in time, the main room is gonna have to get redone,
Ceiling is-
whatever. But there's some insulation up there, but it's pretty packed down and it was blown in. It was up there for
Yeah.
years.
but even if we had to, could we take like, say, 5,000 out of the 100,000 that, or 99,000 you raised and use that to?
well, that's all figured into this total that's remaining.
Oh, that is.
That's already in the budget.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's figured into the total that's remaining. We're already using.
Okay.
Showing.
We don't already spent the original budget of 1.7. Oh, we're,
Okay.
Yeah,
So if we get a matching grant, then we have to raise more money to match it.
well, hopefully we can say we've already raised this much.
Okay.
So, oh, and if you want to know the update of that foolish, because I mean, we've talked about it in emails, but with the bill, what that happened with the bill, so because I was looking at that and couldn't see that it was listed anywhere that it had been signed or finished or anything. And so I asked Randy to explain it to me, and he said, yes, the bill was carried over because it was funded. I argued it didn't need a fiscal note because the funds had already been appropriated by the citizens referendum, but the historical commission argued that it would have to move applications to sort through. So that creates a cost in a fiscal note. They attached a $25,000 fiscal note to the bill because we opened the, people that were eligible to apply for it. And he said, with Senator Hickman's help, we can either fund it in January or remove the fiscal note and move it forward. So that's where we stand with we won't be making an application in November because it's still sitting there.
Yeah.
And that's how it went. So,
but the state has quite a sizable surplus. I read in the paper today.
156 million.
Yeah.
we only want 1 million of
I-
that.
What?
Oh, what?
Come on.
exactly.
They can keep the other 155 million.
Yeah, yeah, so, it just perpetuates my disdain for the historical commission. so-
Oh, don't even go there, Chris. Don't even go there.
So-
And then somehow we have to make Andrew said he was gonna call and talk about the
Yeah.
facade.
Yeah,
And we do have to somehow stay on good terms with it.
well, I know, but
So, but we have to stay on really good terms with Hickman and
yes. and
Randy Greenwood because they're gonna have our backs. And-
Yeah, and the other thing is, I think Winthrop wants to put their Grange, get money for their Grange out there, you
Yeah.
know, in the corner of Old Lewiston Road. And so I think that, you know, co-sponsors were Hasselfuss and, you know, there were a few others. So I think that, you know, our local community of legislators is behind us.
Yeah, well, yes,
And Randy really, you know, wants to make it happen because
right,
his whole family went to school here.
yeah.
And everything too, so, and his grandmother taught and all of that fun stuff, so,
That's good.
yeah. So,
Just keep smiling.
I know, I've been smiling a lot lately.
Well,
It's not
that's
getting
good.
me anywhere, but anyway, so I'll reach back out to Andrew about that and see if he thinks that that would still work. And then, you know, I'll talk to Wade and say, we need a number. We need to know
Yeah.
our final invoice so we know whether we have $20,000.
And to get rid of all that stuff, so we can possibly
Exactly,
proceed with
yeah.
that, so.
And clean it up around the area.
Yeah, and, I mean.
My weed whacker up.
I know, I mean, and that's the thing, Jeff and I have been right out straight, but, you know, we'll get up here and I'm also gonna bring up the weed whacker and some
But why should,
other weed
it's
killer.
town.
Oh, I know that,
owned.
I understand
It's already
that,
been,
but,
I know, but I mean, there's so much that needs to be.
there's stuff behind the building.
Yes.
And that
And-
is worrisome because it's all the dried pine needles
Yeah,
yeah,
and broken branches that are very dry.
and we need to get that ivy off the brick, which
Yeah.
was gone, but now it's regrown, so we'll, use.
all those
something
years
to-
of
oh, I
planting it
know.
on class day.
Exactly, so we'll, you know, use something to prevent that ivy from growing, and then once we get that lilac removed from under the deck, we'll spray something in there too to prevent that lilac from regrowing.
sprayed it.
into the- Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay,
We kill it,
yeah,
so.
all right, so, you know, we have stuff to do there for sure, but, yeah, it's.
Public Works should be able to mow right next to the building, right close up to the building. Everything's been cleaned out. There's a rock on the far side of it and a stone, but that's about it.
Yeah,
There's a lot of crap there that's left there.
oh, yeah, when they
Rick
did the
and-
demo, yeah, when they did the demo, that got left on the
Yeah.
concrete slab, so, you know, and you had mentioned, you know, having a cleanup day and if the students or kids would, you know, I know they have a day of
Yeah,
caring
in the
thing,
fall.
it's in the fall.
Yeah.
We could somehow orchestrate that.
Sometimes it's September and then the next year it might be November, which
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah.
okay.
They used to mow around the whole back of it, didn't they, when the building was there? With
Well, yeah, when
concrete?
I was in school, I mean, it was all mowed and there was there was also a paved path back there because there was a door out of the home ec building that brought you up and around. And there was a door out from the stairwell too. Cause that stairwell came down and if you,
Yes,
and there was a
yes.
door that went out of the stairwell, but there was a single door that went out of the home ec
Yes.
building.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about out here, out on the old playground? I mean, that is awful looking.
Yeah.
Well, that's, sent.
Yeah.
Cause
I saw
isn't
that
that
email
still
That's
town?
town property
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
They are under, they need to clean it up and do it
Yes.
as quick as possible. And put more, chips down there.
Yes.
There was actually somebody there today, a little girl and her grandmother from North Monmouth. She used to be the librarian at Cottrell
Okay,
and her.
mhm.
Grenier, maybe?
Oh,
Both places?
Yeah.
It wasn't Grenier, then it would have
No, it was
been.
something.
Heather Hupiak.
Yeah,
Oh, Heather, yes.
yeah. And she was very appreciative that we saved that building. But, this playground itself, physical part of it is in pretty good shape. It's not that old, is it? I was trying to figure out when that was put there since I've been here, but. Don't
I-
remember. She
It's
didn't
at
think it
least
was that long
25
ago.
years old, I think, when didn't Beck do that in the 90s and here we are, it's
I'm not sure
or
it
the
was
two
there.
thousands, but here
Yeah, I'm
we
not sure it
are.
was there when my kids were here.
Well, now the
think it was
new
after
athletic
they
director, is he
replaced
gonna be responsible for that or?
We are responsible, the town is
But I mean, the athletic director to
Yeah,
get it
the
done.
new rec director.
Correct, yeah.
copied him on the
Steve-
email
Yeah,
today.
Steve copied him in the email, so, you know, we can meet.
They have
their-
money in their budget for,
There is some money in the budget, to be able to do that type of maintenance. But it has to be planned, you know, and I know, you know, I hate to say this, but this time of year, Public Works is
They have
trying
Fridays
to,
off.
Yeah, I know.
trying to get stuff done for paving and all of that. So, they've got all kinds of summer projects that have to get done like, hey, when the sun shines, you
No, no,
know,
we
so it's a matter
it's
of,
not gonna take them that long.
no,
I was here for 3 hours in my Ellen to whip all this around and clean up. 3 hours for 2 people, that's nothing.
yeah,
So they could have 2 people and just get it done in less than a day.
Mhm.
And when they mow, they should be able to mow all the way around the building. And then it could look good.
They need to show they care.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the big thing is it never was part of their purview because it was the RSU. And now it's our purview, but it's been a construction site. So now it's a part of trying to get it back into the routine and having the maintenance done because it is part of town property. So,
If we don't take care of the playground, it's a project that, you're on the AARP group that's
yeah.
doing the trail.
age Friendly.
You may not get funding for
Yeah.
that if they pop out here and take a look at this,
Mm,
because we haven't followed through on taking care of it.
Maintaining,
Yeah,
And I know it's part of the school hasn't done anything either, but
right,
now we own it.
right.
yeah.
So I don't know when they're planning on, when are you guys planning on submitting a grant?
That is from the Trails Committee, so I'm not sure Chuck's been involved in that, but I haven't,
And Doug is
been a
very
part of
aware
that.
that that's coming,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I talked to him today.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That, the Trails Committee's working on that, and I'm not on that. There's, you know, quite a few different groups that are, people that are on that from different groups around town, so. So the other thing, this $10,000, I asked Andrew for his input on it, and he said, because I said, you know, is there something inside that would be age-friendly or something? Because my fear is $10,000 isn't gonna get us very far with paving. Or also to prep it to pave. And we pave something that we don't have a parking plan, we don't have any of that. Yes, they did a drawing, but in that drawing, there was no even path shown on the drawing of going into that entrance. So we'd have to have somebody draw something up, give them guidance of where they want it. But if it's still an ongoing construction project for the interior, I don't want to do something and have it not in the right place. Not that I don't want $10,000. So, but the thing that I asked Andrew about, he said, since we're one story, the accessibility features are pretty minimal. The only thing that could be considered for accessibility were the railings on the front steps. And I think the railings cost $12,994. So whether or not the railings would qualify as that, we could use it as that.
That would be
But-
good. I mean, if we
So if
could.
they would allow us to change that, I don't know. We'd have to ask Mary Beth about whether or not that's a possibility. He also said for $10,000 paving, $10,000 for paving won't get you much. If the committee deems it to be spent in full, I would suggest that you or Steve Brown reach out to a local, smaller paving company rather than having Nick O'Day requisition a sub to do it, because a construction entity will always charge a little on top for their profits. Plus, it might be easier to strike a deal with someone local. it might be good to have a conversation and ask, how much can we cover with $10,000? And then I can draw a sketch of that estimated area to give you an idea of where that lands in the site. So, you know, having piecemealed pavement, I don't know if that's the right thing to do, you know?
Would be a shame to, part of the biggest problem is you have to excavate out
Yes.
the dirt and put down a stone base, a gravel base. I mean, you're gonna chew up half that $10,000 to getting that done.
Yeah.
You know, having Jimmy or somebody excavate that out and build a proper base to put the paving on. And then if it's not in the right place, we've wasted the money.
Yeah. I mean, that's the hard part about it is that we don't know what we don't know right now when it comes to where the parking's gonna end up being. We haven't done a parking plan with the planning board. That was the whole big thing I went through with the planning board, that we didn't have, those parts aren't even in place. We were approved with the planning board just for essentially what we were doing, but then when you do parking, you have to have a watershed, you know, all the how the water runs off and all that runoff stuff. So that was the other thing, that none of that, we've even gone there with the planning board yet.
Mhm.
Because they ran me through the ringer about it, because they wanted to see all that information, of which, none of which we had, because we hadn't even gotten to that point.
We didn't have the budget to get that. point.
Yes, exactly.
To get there.
So, you know, those are the things that concern me about doing a little bit of pavement and then having it be for naught. So, like, I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth when it comes to $10,000, but
I don't think the railings would qualify for what they are hoping or what their vision is in giving this money.
well, it is an
Or meeting their-
accessibility.
What's wrong with the
Feature.
back door? On the side, if you have parking that's gonna go up that direction, which is where you really, only place you really have,
Mm,
you'd have your handicap parking up near
Mm.
that entrance.
yeah,
And they could enter that way, and the grade is practically
I
nothing.
mean, the grade is
Flat.
practically nothing, but,
So it
you
makes
know.
more sense to have it there.
So here's my concern. I know nothing about this. I don't know who to even call. So I mean, I don't even know what to do about it is the other thing. Plus, I've got this October 3rd thing that I'm trying to get organized.
Yeah.
And asking for raffle stuff about that. So I'm like, well, I don't even know what to do about it.
Well, Steve,
First of all.
what would be your recommendation?
Well, I'll talk to Jimmy tomorrow and see,
Jimmy,
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Hopkins.
He does a lot of stuff.
He's doing a lot of site work. He did quite a bit of stuff here now. And he's working for me right now. So I'll talk to him tomorrow and say how much, he might know
Yeah.
how far a ton of paving covers. I'm not even sure how you calculate.
Yeah.
I never did much paving in my
Yeah,
career.
exactly.
Everything I do is concrete. But I can ask him some questions tomorrow and see what he says.
Yeah.
Because you are right, if you're only gonna have just a couple of handicap parking spaces, and
Well, I mean, we don't have any parking. I mean, this is all, is this supposed to be for parking or just for access?
It's a ramp.
So it's, you've got to have to
So
grade up.
basically the width of the
But if
concrete
it's level-
pad
Yeah.
coming out
yep,
40 or 50 feet
that's it.
is probably about what you'd end up with. But I
so
don't,
maybe Jimmy could give us some really good input on that.
I'll ask him tomorrow and see what he says or what he thinks.
Is he a local person?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
He did he dug the power lines and the sewer hookups, and he did that drainage in the corner.
How much did that cost?
He donated part of
He
that.
donated part of it and some of it,
He
you know,
donates to the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And if we had to do it fast, I mean,
Yeah.
he would be willing to do that.
But then do you have to schedule paving on top of that? So that's the other.
No, if you use the $10,000 just for the grading, you know, then the paving
Yeah.
could be done later.
Exactly.
The other thing is, Mary Beth said we could use the money to buy like aluminum ramps, you know?
Yes.
But I don't, and she said then you could use them anywhere in town, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
We don't
want
that.
Down in and out of the house.
yeah.
no,
This doorway and entryway be such a clean process,
Mhm.
clean look,
Mhm.
you know, and there's no real grade to it, so it doesn't require much material.
Doesn't require much sloping or anything like that. It's just a matter of, you know, if you make it the width of the concrete and come straight out, as far as $10,000 does us, then I guess that would be great, but what happens when we actually do the road
Yeah.
and paving? You know,
Well, you know, Jim's good. Ask Jim what he thinks because
I'll,
These guys must know what it takes to put in a parking lot,
yeah,
you know, what would need material and how much space we need and the measurements. I mean,
Yeah.
that's-
and he's got that, what do you call that thing where you look at elevation, you know, where you
The
look through?
transit.
Yes, he got the transit and
well, that is such flat out there. I mean, handicap's allowed 1 and 20 slope.
Yeah.
And there ain't a foot in 50 feet out there. It's
Yeah.
just basically flat.
well, Jim could tell us what to do. Just tell Jim we got $10,000, we gotta spend it. What can we do?
I'll ask him tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's gonna be at my place at 7 in the morning, so.
All right.
Have the coffee ready.
You work me like a rented mule. He's sitting in the excavator digging like this and lay that pipe over there, shovel that stone over there.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna die by 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Let me run the excavator. You get down here.
Yeah,
Yeah, so. And so that's those things. So, so we can go, does anybody else have anything else on status or anything like that? Before we go on to all designs and voice.
I think the homecoming for the high school is, like this year, it's like September something or other, early part of September. And I was just thinking, wouldn't it be kind of neat if we could ring the bell? If, you know, I'll go in and haul on it.
We don't have a rope, do we?
If we don't have a rope
Take
on
the
it.
rope back down.
Oh, no,
Did you
not
leave
that I
the-
know of.
You left the rope back up there and does it come down through the hole? Did they make that?
yeah, I thought he had it, I thought it was all down into the vestibule.
Yeah, I haven't.
I honestly haven't looked at it.
Yeah.
It's either, I believe it's the 13th, September 13th. It's early this year. It's either the 13th or the 20th. And I just, you know, there are gonna be a lot of people here. Who knows? We could like, let's ring the bell.
I think that'd be wonderful.
I'm pretty sure that Dave, the last guy that was there, ran the rope all the way down through
Okay.
and left it in the entryway.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, that's
we can
good
check it
PR.
out. I mean, yeah, I mean, we could ring it at the start of the game. Then, you know, if they win, we'll ring it. And, you know, if someone lets me in, I'll ring it.
Yeah, and I
Just
could,
to be
you know,
here
if I
fun,
knew about
you
that,
know.
I'd come up with throws, because we
yeah.
might be able to sell throws
Yeah.
for, you know.
But I believe it's 13th.
Okay.
but I will check on the date.
So,
And Rudy's book, if you have any of those books. you
Yes,
can
I need
sell.
to
Yeah.
get one of those.
yeah.
They're
Darlene,
at the piece- they're at the-
Darlene
at the
has some,
museum.
and then they're at the gift shop.
Okay.
Yeah, Darlene has some too. So, I meant to bring mine up, but I left it sitting in the living room, so.
I can ask at the high school, if we could have a table and maybe put some of the books out and
Yeah.
some of the throws out. I can ask if we could do
Yeah.
that, because I know that the classes
Yeah.
do things to try to raise their money,
Yeah.
but I could
Well,
ask if we.
Steve Bell had let me go into the gym, you know, during the basketball
Yeah.
games,
So I'll touch base on that.
But we have a new principal since then, so, because I didn't go last
Yes.
year, so. Brandon,
Brandon.
yeah. So he knows me from being around.
Carol, as in Merrill with
Yeah,
a T.
Carol.
It's not Terrell.
Carol.
What's his first name?
Brandon.
Brandon.
He was a teacher at Halldale. In fact, English or history? I'm not
English,
sure.
English.
Yeah.
So the only invoice we have is Paul Designs for $287.50, which included administration costs, which I believe is just, him looking over documents and approving documents and stuff. I didn't want to.
I'll make a motion, we pay the.
Yeah.
All those in favor? Thank you. Is none from anybody else? So fundraising, I have spent a lot of time driving around. And, I remembered that Great Falls Credit Union had said at one point, they didn't just give monetary donations, but they would give items for raffles. This popped into my brain from 2 years ago. So I reached out to the kid that I had talked to, I call him a kid, but the gentleman that does that for Great Falls Credit Union from he's not at the Monmouth branch, he's at the Lewiston branch or whatever. So I reconnected with him, chatted with him on the phone, and he said, yes, let me look and see what I can get. So he ended up getting 4 tickets to the Maine Children's Museum, which is about a $200 value. So I do have that from them. Hannaford gave me a $50 gift card. Bates Mill gave me a throw, not an Academy throw, but a different throw, that's worth $125. Route 202 Pizza, I've got to go pick it up from her, but she's doing a $30 gift card. Ted's Trackside gave a $25 gift card. Kushnock, who Casey Hines lives next to, Ann and Bill Fairchild. I went out there and the kid gave me his email. I emailed him and he answered within a day, and they give a $50 gift card. The Meadows gave me 4 greens fees. Combesy Colony gave me 2 greens fees. I'm getting Springbrook for you. And so we'll have that, and then buy the board lumber, because that's Sonia Jones. Sonia Godbout owns that. I went out there to buy, what else? Rough sawn hemlock because the one Steve put up 30 years ago. Yankees I can't believe it, especially when you have a 1,200-pound animal rubbing their bottom against it. So I went out there and I had Natalie Jones's Amaracus somehow ended up at the museum. And then Audrey gave me all these Amaracuses, and lo and behold, there's Natalie's with this picture of one of Natalie's class reunion of her classmates, and she had made notes about who was still alive and who was this and who was that. And I remembered that I had it because I thought it was odd that it ended up, somehow back at the museum. So I took it out and gave it to Sonia, and she was absolutely thrilled. And so then I told her about the fundraiser, and she gave me a $100 gift card, which you can use for lumber, or they sell mulch as well. So I have that. And the Mulcahy's are donating 2 show tickets. Their daughter works at the Citizens Theater in Boston, and they donated 2 show tickets to a show in January, and it's The Sound of Music. It's a matinee on a Saturday. So that is going to be one of them as well. I have got to go back to Fast Eddie's because they were out of gift cards, and they had to order them in. We sadly will not be able to have a gift card from Stevens Greenhouse.
I know.
I'm distraught about that because I loved being able to just pop up there when I wanted stuff. So, and if anybody else has any ins with people, I have left things at Willow's Awake and I've emailed the Grateful Grains person that Beth Nell told me who to email. Haven't heard from them. I left things at White Duck, Monmouth General, the 305 or whatever it is, Peppers essentially in Winthrop. Fielder's Choice, Island Park Brewing. I've got to go back to Andy at the Milk House and ask him because he said yes, but his wife wasn't there to give me anything. Spindrift, Jack Traps, Wilson's Recreation. I filled out a paper at Longfellows. I'm still hoping to hear from them. Cabin Masters, I've emailed the girl they told me to email. I'm waiting to hear. I left things at Reggie's. Easiest places were the golf courses. They're like, yeah, here. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna go back to Dave's Appliance and check in with them because I was pretty good friends with Brian Ketchen there, so I've got to, but he's not in the office right now. Audette's, they donated, like this, trying to think of the brand name, but it was like Friscare's scissors, different scissors and knife sheaths that, had sharpening things on them. So it's
For
just,
hunting?
no, not for hunting, for like yard work
Yard
or
work, okay.
different things like that. It was a set of 3 different sizes of shears with sheaths that had a sharpening thing built into them.
Okay.
So I have that, but I'm gonna do packages things. I've been to Harris Farmers Union, Freckle Salvage. Nikki at Freckle said she was going to send me a voucher for the Thursday night pre-sale of the Vault. Now, you men might not know what the Vault is, but going for a pre-sale on Thursday or Friday night's a big deal because you get to look at all the stuff in there in the old mill in Winthrop before anybody else gets to it. So, Nikki is supposed to get that back to me. RT Farms, I left things there. Jenny Hall, that might not be her last name, but at Infinity Hair on Crossroad in Winthrop, across from the dump. She was going to do like a merchandise basket for me, so I will be checking back in with Jenny on that. I don't hold out hope for Monmouth Market or South Monmouth Market. I don't think that they quite understand
I doubt it.
what I'm doing or what I'm asking for. I left the information, but that's that. So if any of you know any of those people at the places that I've left things, and
I'll try White Duck.
yeah. Because I talked to a woman there who said that she lived in Monmouth,
Laurel.
one of the waitresses,
Well,
and she said,
right.
oh, yeah,
Laurel Smith was a hostess there for a while.
Oh.
They lived where Bill and Ann live.
oh, okay,
Ken Smith, Laurel Smith, Penny Smith, she was there.
okay,
And Allison worked there. And
okay. So if you've got
What's
an
his
in,
name?
that's what I'm hoping is
Yeah.
that there might be an in
Yeah,
because
I'll see what I can do.
just when I wander in and
And
give
I'll
my
talk
little
to
spiel.
Kathy Morrill from Texas Roadhouse. I can talk with her.
Okay,
She's been good.
all right, that sounds great.
Did you talk
to know.
with Doug Bloodwood?
Oh, well, yes, and of course, Monmouth Museum is doing a, blueberry, not blueberry, but I mean, canning, wooden canning tray thing. Yeah, and filling it with Monmouth Museum stuff,
Okay.
so, Orva's gonna get that to me.
Okay.
And then I heard through the grapevine that Doug Ludwig was donating one of Nancy Ludwig's quilts.
Hmm.
I heard that through the
Yeah,
grapevine,
yeah.
and I wanted to be sure before I.
He mentioned it to me on the grapevine. We chatted, you and I, and you said,
Yeah.
yes. So I'm the grapevine.
So what I'm hoping is that I'll have like 10 raffle things or groupings, there'll be 10 and people will buy tickets and they'll just write their name, phone number, and number of the raffle item they want to put their name in for. They'll be $5 each or 6 for $20.
Do you wanna just put out baskets in front of the things that they
Yeah,
can put them
well,
in?
exactly, but if we're pre-selling them, so
Oh,
if
yeah,
we're
yeah.
pre-selling, you'll have
Right,
this,
right.
this list, and perhaps I'll take some pictures and do
Okay.
another thing so people. can
But
see.
for like the night of.
The night
just put
of,
the-
we'll have
yeah.
baskets and
Yeah.
have things lined out,
Okay.
and we're gonna have to have people upstairs and downstairs because
Okay.
people come from 2 different
Yeah.
directions. So we can have everything out downstairs in the basement area, but have people on 2 levels selling raffle tickets and things. And then we'll draw like the next day, on Saturday after the event, we'll draw and all of that. So I did this isn't finished yet because I don't have all the raffles in there yet, but as soon as I have this ready to go, I bought raffle tickets that are this big, so it'll accommodate somebody's name, phone number. I don't need anything other than name, phone number, and what they want to do. So if we pre-sell things, that we've got, a place to write down where they want their ticket put in. So I'm hoping that by the end of this, the next couple of weeks, I'll have a final list I'll put together, and I'll post it on Facebook, and I will start, and you've got a flyer there, Lori, I didn't put it
Yes,
in.
yes.
So I've got a flyer, sorry, thank God for ChatGPT.
Did you put this on the alumni page?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
I put that on the alumni page, and I've got to put it on the academy page, the restoration page, and
Okay.
then Dennis is going to put it out there too.
Okay.
And you can make photocopies,
Okay.
or I can email you the document if you
Okay.
have other request things. I have more in the car I can just given to you.
Yeah.
Because I
I
can
can
print up
copy it.
more at home.
Okay.
So, that's where I am with the raffle prizes, but spent a lot of time driving around and as I told Joe O'Donnell one time with my tin cup out, rattling my tin cup, asking for donations. So, but I modeled the pricing on another project in town that does raffles. So the pricing will be $5 each or 6 tickets for $20. So,
Okay.
and then of course I'll be able to sell them at Apple Fest and that type of thing. So, but that's where I am with all of that. If anybody else has any ideas or suggestions, I'm open to it.
That sounds great.
So, but, I was dreading making a poster, and then I went and met with Dennis about just logistics, and Dennis goes, I use ChatGPT for all my posters, and using AI, you just type in, but then ChatGPT made me really mad because they only let you do so much stuff before they want you to buy a higher package. And if you need to make corrections, you have to wait 24 hours before you can try to make corrections to this, so.
Are you gonna pre-sell tickets to get in?
Tickets to get in, we can.
Or is that going to be at the-
I think that the hard part is I don't have any way to take a credit card. So, Dennis is gonna put this on the Friends of Cumston Hall because that's why I put their name on there, as long as I say in conjunction with, plus he's helping with light and sound. And, he said, well, you can, use, trying to think of the platform. But I don't have any way to take a credit card. Even when you pre-sell, like the Fish and Game does, like they had a ladies pistol class
Yeah.
out there. And you could sign up for it, or their hunter safety class. You could sign up and pay online, but they have a way that they can do that. I don't have a way that I can take a credit
So you're
card.
gonna have no credit card at the door or anything?
No, because I don't have any way to do that. Otherwise, somebody would have to use, and what I've done before, which is something that I'm not thoroughly comfortable with is I've had people want to buy throws at, whatever place I'm standing around, and they want to Venmo me the money. I don't want them Venmoing me the money, because that's not a great look sometimes. So what I normally end up doing is having them Venmo Jeff the money, and then Jeff writes a check to the town. Because
The problem at the
it gets,
door,
I know.
90% of the people come through the door
Yeah.
don't carry cash.
Oh, I know.
Nobody carries
Is there
cash
any-
anymore except for us old timers.
Is there any,
What does the gift shop do?
They actually have a thing, and we
Yes.
could ask Orva if we could somehow use the gift shop for that.
Well, and, I see,
for the theater?
how, well, the theater's not gonna do anything for us. So I mean, the only way that I can somehow figure it out is, I know Dennis has a Stripe thing that they use, or, Apple Pay or something, because I've seen them use it when I went to the Johnny Cash thing there. But I don't, it's, one of those things that's really difficult that people, don't always have cash anymore. And we've got to figure it out. But that's the whole logistics of this. Or they could write me a check, which a lot of people don't carry checks, but,
Right.
so,
if we can't figure it out, we have to somehow make sure in our advertising
Yes.
for it that it says cash
Cash
or check.
check, yes.
And
that's
because
what
you're
I
right,
did.
I don't carry a lot of cash.
Yeah, and that's what I did on this, is that it's cash or checks, because with the raffle tickets, I don't have any way to take,
Yeah.
And so that's the only thing I've got to try to, noodle that around and try to figure out how to do it.
Well, we can check with Orva on Wednesday, or I'll check with Orva on Wednesday, but a lot of people do things on consignment, so maybe we could consider this like a consignment thing, and I don't
Yeah.
know.
But,
Um,
then
It's
you.
worth
rent-
asking for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the hard part is, speaking from experience, that when you take credit cards, there's a 3 to 5%
They pay it.
fee.
They pay it at
Yes.
the gift shop. They know, in other words, the people are told they're gonna be paying that,
Yes,
and
that
they
fee.
don't
And
mind.
that's the hard part, that I
Yeah.
don't want to have, that fee interrupt,
Orva said nobody complains at the
nobody
gift shop.
complains, so,
So,
if
and
there's-
she's got a sign right there,
Town office has one if you
Yeah.
want to use your credit card
Yeah.
to,
yeah.
down at there.
So I'll talk to Orva on Wednesday, and I'll say, what can we do? Orva?
Yeah.
How can we help?
and, and that's the hard part, because, I have the ability to process credit cards, but it goes into my business
Yeah,
checking, so
no.
I can't do any of that stuff, so that's.
Why use the town account? Goes through-
Because then I don't even know how it would have to be a mobile app, because we wouldn't have a scanner, a thing to swipe the card in remotely, because it's hardwired at the town office, because that's the whole thing that I've had, dealing with, trying to figure out.
Talk to Justin and see about doing something.
Well, I talked to them multiple times, and we thought that this My Rec thing would be able to take credit cards, but I don't think I have the ability, because then I'd have to sign people up as a rec account to use their credit card, and it just is this layers of things. So that's why we have to, try to figure out how that's going to work.
How tech savvy is this New York director?
He's pretty tech savvy, but I mean, I've got to figure out the credit card options for,
People could go right to the rec site and sign up for whatever program.
And
we're
the
running.
people
yes.
walk up
and
to the
that's
door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They want to just
That's the
hand you
big
the
thing.
credit card and want to buy their ticket, and walk in.
Yeah,
If it's not quick and smooth,
I know. That's the hard part. So,
And taking checks, whoever's doing it, we gotta
Yeah.
make sure we have a telephone number for the ones that,
yeah.
people we don't know,
Well,
so,
And
so,
yes.
you know, that's the whole thing. There's all these little nuances and
Mhm.
layers, but, we can, work on that. And that's all I have for fundraising. Do you have anything, Mr. Eldridge?
Oh, I'm reorganizing, going back, and I think I said this before, to the ones that, I had sent to last year. And some of the deadlines are, coming up, so I've got some in the works. But again, they're not for big money. 10,000 here, 5,000 there,
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
it adds up.
yeah, it does.
But, downloaded the CDBG application for capital project. It's a little bit separate from how they do other projects, and see if we have any money, we might be able to have some matching funds if we need it. I picked out today from 5 different places I've never seen before that do stuff in New England. And they get a little bit more money there on top if you can qualify. And they're all for capital projects, so.
Great.
So, is there anything else we need to go over before we pick the next date? Do you have any select board reports, Mr. Ludwig? No. All right, so, how does September 8th look? There's nothing scheduled in here and it's the.
What's Labor Day?
The Labor Day will be the 1st,
Okay.
early.
Yeah, school starts the 2nd, I believe I was told. Okay.
So does September 8th work
Yep.
for you
Yep,
guys?
it does.
Okay.
I will make sure I have the stuff for you prior to that so that you know from Springbrook, and I will talk with Kathy Morrill from Texas Roadhouse, and I will go to White Duck and see what I can do.
Question, you were at one time talking about having a high school senior student on the committee. Did it come?
To his mom and, during the summer, I think he plays baseball and basketball.
Oh, okay.
So I think they were trying to figure out the logistics of that, so that's not to say we don't want to have that, but I think also it's a good thing for the town that we're reestablishing a recreation committee, and I think it would be a wonderful idea to have a student representative on the rec committee as well. So, if anybody has any ideas about that or kids that we can, work on for the future, because I think it would be great for their college resume and also going forward to have that committee experience. And if there's anybody that we know of, but I think summertime for some kids is
Once
just.
we complete this building, who's gonna manage it? Is it gonna be the rec department?
No, and probably Dennis will probably manage it like he does Cumston. With the same fee schedule for renting, for townspeople and out of townspeople, the same type of fee schedule based on square footage or a flat fee for the room or whatever. And so he would be the one managing, booking it. But it would be open, you know, as always, first come, first serve is always town events, being rec or voting or town committee meetings. And then, you know, I've made it clear that I think it's really important to have the Monmouth Academy trustees meet there as well, and also the alumni meet there and have it available for class reunions and that type of thing, so.
Would you want any student volunteers, I'm thinking of National Honor Society kids, to maybe be downstairs on the 3rd, standing with the things, like the things that we have
Yeah.
out that you can bid on, that they could
Yeah.
get their volunteer hours in by being
Oh,
down
yeah.
there
If you've
or
got
being
connections,
greeters or
Yeah.
something.
the more
Okay.
hands we have,
All
the
right.
better.
Let me talk with Chris Arsenault. She is NHS.
Yes.
And,
Are you gonna need any ushers or anything like that?
I don't think we'll need ushers because it'll be, people seat themselves in the theater wherever they want to sit.
So
But I
it's
think
just
it's
gonna be
just a-
open seating, there's no
Yes,
reserved seating or
exactly.
anything like that.
But I think, it's just a matter of us being present so that we can answer questions and all the, photos that Nickerson and O'Day gave me from the bell tower event. I'll have those plus the blueprints and different things like that. So we'll be able to, sell throws, sell raffle tickets and answer questions, hopefully. I think between now and our next meeting, I'm gonna want to get input on the facts about the academy for the next Monmouth Messenger. Because I think Steve and I have discussed, and we know that a lot of people don't have the facts about what we intend or what we want or what we foresee this building doing, and there's a lot of misinformation. So at the next meeting, I'll be just a few weeks away from submitting that in September. So if we think about some things that we've heard in town that we need to clear up, then I'll be looking for input for that. So that's gonna be my next Monmouth Messenger article about the facts, how many people it can hold.
right. Really?
With tables and without tables and that type of thing, what we see it being used for and getting correct information out there, trying to dispel some of the misinformation. Okay, so if that makes sense. Do we have any public for comment? And we didn't get Zoom bombed, so thank the Lord. Our last two select board meetings have been Zoom bombed, so.
I move we adjourn.
Perfect.
That was coming next, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
you don't
that's-
wanna know. Yeah, you don't wanna know what they do when they Zoom bomb. I thought I was gonna need to have my memory cleansed.
It's filthy.
Yeah, oh, yes.
What does that mean, Zoom bombed?
Pornography.
Oh.